Crash Bandicoot Warped was the last Crash platform game that Naughty Dog would work on, but they weren't quite finished with the orange marsupial. In 1999, they put out a kart racer called Crash Team Racing, which was originally supposed to be the third Crash game, and in 2000, they passed the torch on to other developers. The first of these was Crash Bash, a Mario Party type game made by Eurocom, and in 2001, Vivendi Universal put out the fourth main title game, The Wrath of Cortex. Frustrated over their constant defeats at the hand of Crash Bandicoot, Cortex has gathered up all his minions to find a way to finally destroy Crash. This involves bringing in a successfully genetically altered Bandicoot named Crunch and releasing 4 ancient masks known as the Elementals. Aku Aku is worried that the Elementals will cause all kinds of havoc, so Coco creates a machine to send her and Crash across the world in search of the crystals and the gems to stop Crunch and the Elementals before finally putting a stop to Cortex and Uka Uka. Once again, hardly any deep story in this game. But that's to be expected from a game like this, let alone a Crash game. Like in the previous 2 entries, Crash and Coco have to travel through 25 levels plus 5 hidden levels across 5 warp rooms. The warp rooms are set up in a similar manner as the Time Twister and Warped. These levels take the Bandicoot siblings across the world in various levels and various types of gameplay. You have your traditional running and jumping, sometimes riding a scooter to escape a tidal wave, or outrunning a fucking dragon.
Run, bitch! Run!
But you also ride a jeep through the jungles while being chased by a herd of angry rhinos, flying a plane to shoot down some tornadoes.
I'm leaving.
Or riding a hamster ball across the track like you're in Marble Madness. While the other games had these spread out sporadically, allowing you to get used to them at your own pace, in this game you're thrust into almost all of these within the first warp room. Am I playing Crash Bandicoot or Action 52? Like before, you have to gather the crystals, and the crystals are in very hard to miss areas in the levels, so you'd be an idiot if you missed one. The gems once again require you to get every box in the levels. You may just have to go through the level normally while getting the boxes in the bonus areas, or you may have to once again contend with the occasional death route, which requires you to get to them without dying. As for the boss fights, there are, of course, 5 in total, 1 at the end of each warp room. First 4 have Crunch teaming up with an elemental mask. You could be rolling in the hamster ball, flying a plane, running and jumping, or using Crash's new power suit, which totally isn't an Aliens ripoff.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Speaking of the masks, the 4 of them are based off of the 4 elements of Earth, Wind, Fire, and Water, and they got some big names to do a couple of these. The Fire Mask is voiced by Mark Hamill.
Is it getting hot in here? Is it safe to be wearing that fur? It looks flammable!
And the Water Mask is voiced by the late R. Lee Ermey. And I know it's been done to death, but seriously, you can't hear this guy and not think of the drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket.
You little scumbag! I got your name! I got your ass!
The final boss fight is with Crunch and Cortex, and it has Crunch breaking free of Cortex's control, somehow, and Cortex and Uka Uka getting frozen in ice. After each boss fight, you get a power-up, just like in Warped. These range from the returning double jump, death tornado, spin, crash, dash, and bazooka, but the new one allowing you to walk on your toes to avoid nitro crates. Normally, nitro crates explode if you so much as look at them, but now... One thing I haven't mentioned yet is the overall quality of the game. Graphically speaking, it looks great for the PlayStation 2, though this game was also released on Xbox and GameCube. I couldn't tell you about the music, but with the sporadic and almost schizophrenic way this game introduces new mechanics, it can take quite a bit to get used to, and it just throws them at you as if to say, have fun, shithead. I would say approach this one with caution, and even then, get the re-releases. Because the original release, at least on the PlayStation 2, has load times almost as long as those on Sonic 06. First main game without Naughty Dog, and Crash, while he isn't striking out, he's certainly having some trouble. Maybe next time will be better when I begin looking at Devil May Cry games up until 4. Give 5 time to sink in since it just came out this month. At the time of this video, anyway. I just wish this game had been handled a little bit better rather than coming off as a lesser version of Warped. And there's still a soul trapped in this thing, and I wish I could help him too. Wait. I have an idea.